Hello everyone, this is Chef Matt here. Welcome to welcome to Fab and Tech for hauling, towing, and recovery. I've got a special guest here, Prep Cook to my left. And she asked me some questions and stuff yesterday, and well, let's cover some of those. And it's going to be somewhat in depth, but I'm going to do my best not to go into extreme details. But overall, I'm going to do my best to assist you all in understanding the importance of maintenance and what exactly about maintenance is so crucial to the life of a vehicle. Mary, any questions? Well, we're going to delve into diesels for a moment. It used to be on engines that were diesel, especially the 7.3 Power Stroke and the 6.0 Power Stroke, that there was high pressure and low pressure oil that in theory mixed but never did. Now, go ahead and check out Bill Hewitt's channel after this video to find out in depth how to perform a lot of these procedures. Well, I've adapted kind of an interesting theory here. I like to change the high pressure oil at the same time I'm changing the low pressure oil every time. And some questions that arise about that are, is it necessary? Well, let me explain this. 3 quarts of oil is a heck of a lot cheaper than your injectors, wearing out a lot easier and a lot faster. Now, a lot of times with the Huey injection system, you'll get issues where an injector may stick open or it may stick closed. It's kind of like a USB thumb drive, you know. You got a 50-50 shot of it sticking open or closed. 80% of the time it sticks open.
What's the difference between high pressure oil and low pressure oil?
So your high pressure oil is what's in the Huey injection system that assists in the actuation of the fuel injectors. The low pressure oil is what lubricates the whole engine, aside from the Huey injection system. They're two entirely different systems. And the way I can explain it is, it's the same exact type of oil that goes in your engine on the low pressure side as it is the high pressure side, and vice versa. 3 quarts of oil. We're talking about, in 2020, you're looking at about $15 in oil, and you may as well go with AMSOIL. I've had a lot of good results with AMSOIL because they do extreme high-end lab testing on all their stuff. They test their products side by side with Royal Purple, which, if you're buying Royal Purple, you're not getting the true race oil unless you're actually listed with them as an official racer with them as their sponsor. Otherwise, you're just buying the brand. Now, when it comes to Castrol, not saying it's a bad oil, it does really well. Even the high mileage does really well. When it comes to Napa oils, I've had a lot of really bad luck with those oils. You know, the Napa brand oils, they're not as good as they used to be. And I know, kind of sounds harsh, but it's true. And as for some of the really cheap brands, we're talking dirt cheap, just really cut rate stuff like what you find at a convenience store on a gas station. Do not waste your time with those off-brand motor oils. And the reason I state that is oil is inexpensive. Engines are not. If you really want to put your engine at risk, go ahead. Now, another thing I can honestly state is that regardless of whether your engine is an oil burner or not, you need to make sure you stay on top of your maintenance. Don't let it slide. Anything after the word but in a sentence is nothing other than an excuse. That's all it is. It's only an excuse. Anything after the word but is only an excuse.
So which is better? When I used to go get my oil changed, they used to put a sticker on my windshield, and it would say so many miles and then it'd give me a month to come back. Which is better, the miles or the month to get your oil changed?
Whichever comes first, and it's always better to be early than late because, quite frankly, when you're late, you're overextending it. And if your vehicle is under warranty, going over the oil change interval will void your warranty. Which is the number one reason a lot of people have warranty issues, especially with stuff that would normally be covered under warranty. And also, don't take it to don't take it to a cut rate mechanic who's only going to charge you 20 or 30 bucks for an oil change on a diesel. They're very complicated engines as it is now. And that leads me to a question that I know she's not going to think to ask, and that is, are delete kits worth it? I don't know. It's kind of like asking, do you have $15,000 plus that you could just throw in the trash can and not feel bad about? That's literally what it comes down to. Every day, you're risking $15,000 coming out of your back pocket with one pullover. Is it really worth the fear? Think about that one, Mary. Is it really worth knowing in the back of your head you unintentionally let out a little whiff of black smoke out your tailpipe on a diesel and a cop walks up? Now here's another one. Delete kits produce certain sounds that are very audible to a cop's ear. Very audible. I can honestly say, cop walks up and they hear coming at your tailpipe, and they look up and see the 6.7 badge, you're screwed. At that point, they have probable cause for writing you a ticket for excessive noise. And if there's a little puff of black smoke when they're behind you coming out that, even so much as an iota, if they can see it and their dash cam's recording, you just cost yourself $15,000. I don't do delete kits. I will never do delete kits, not even on race vehicles, because I do not believe in there being exemptions to a law. I don't care. The reason there's a lot of gray areas and laws are so people can manipulate them to whatever they want them to be. That's why my policies are black and white. So the next question being, well, why is my fuel economy so bad and my TPF keeps clogging up? It's simple. You either have a hot tune, a bad product, or too much of a lead foot, or any combination of the three. Just keep your foot out of it. Your TPF will last longer. As for the EGR coolers, those are a maintenance item too. Those need to be cleaned out. How do you clean them out? Well, you got to take them to someone who is certified to be able to clean DPF filters, and that shop can and will clean your EGR cooler. At least Ford made them much easier to access, to take on and off, to replace, or even maintain. Any questions, Mary?
Nothing I can think of. So,
a question that she's probably not thinking of yet is, what's the importance of cleaning the EGR cooler? Well, it packs up with soot really easily, especially with a lot of idle time. If you're going to be doing a lot of idle time, you need to budget X amount of dollars per hour of idle time just to go get that your DPF and your EGR cooler cleaned out.
So idling is what clogs it up?
Easily. Very, very easily.
And those guys in California and roadblocks and stuff and commutes probably have to get them changed a lot
Oh,
or
yes.
cleaned a lot.
And a lot of them don't, and that's why they whine and moan and complain about wanting to delete the emissions. They just don't want to take care of the equipment. They're more concerned about getting a couple miles more to the gallon. The trucks are going to get around 16 to 18, going around town anyway. You take your EGR cooler, your EGR valve, and this and that off. Well, let's talk about the consequences of taking your EGR cooler out, which does a really good job of capturing a lot of soot that, in the event that soot were to go into your engine, would just be liquid. Well, it'd be kind of like throwing a sandblaster to your intake. Not a good idea. And not only that, some shops are certified to do what's called a replumb. They're going to be your DPFs, your emissions equipment certified shops that are certified to and licensed to work on emissions equipment and modify them. And one of the biggest, huge recommendations that I personally have as an honest mechanic, if you've got a 6.7 diesel, whether it's a Cummins or a Power Stroke, go get a replumb where your EGR system is after your diesel particulate filter system.
What's a diesel particulate system?
It collects the soot from your exhaust, and the reason that occasionally an engine will, as rednecks call it, wrap up in RPMs while driving or while sitting, is because it's trying to clean that soot out of there. It has to burn it off. And yet again, Bill Hewitt over at Power Stroke Specialty in Buford, Georgia, with his website powerstrokehelp.com, has done a really phenomenal video about what happens with DPFs with a lot of idle time. Also, Banks Engineering does a lot of honest, good bench tests that are scientific and repeatable, and he has huge amounts of data to back all of it up. Dumping more fuel into your engine with no additional air to go with it is going to jam-pack that soot filter so bad, so quick. It's going to be a bad mistake that you made. Then you've got your inline tuners that he refers to as, if memory serves, he refers to them as engine cookers, because all they do is unlock the EGTs, and next thing you know, your engine's foobarred. And for those of you who are not familiar with the term foobar, that would be fouled up beyond absolute recognition. And that really is true. I've actually seen with my own eyes these young, dumb, drunk rednecks do some of the stupidest things. And that's one of them. Now, another really awesome product that I can recommend to a lot of people is the Derringer, made by Banks Engineering. The Derringer is an inline tuner that is a self-bypassing tuner. If anything goes wrong with the tuner, it self-bypasses. It's not permanently saved into the computer. It just adjusts the signals a little bit. It works in tandem with the integrated diagnostic system and the onboard computer system. Now, what makes the Derringer such an awesome inline tuner is the fact that it assists you in being able to hook up the iDash system, which is $400 a gauge, has too many options to even begin to list them in a video as to what you can monitor on each gauge. And it's a very expandable system. Go check it out at banksengineering.com. Also, you can check out his YouTube channel. It's on my subscription tab on the channel. I'm going to be making sure to add that as well if it isn't already up there. But it's definitely there on the Chef Matt Hammerschmidt channel. You can find it right there in the playlist. Correction, on the subscription list and on the channel list. You'll find it right there. Also, some other really great products that I do recommend are, if you're really struggling to figure things out with your Power Stroke and you really want the legit Power Stroke expert, you've got to check out Power Stroke Specialty in Buford, Georgia. It's worth the trip. It can and will ship a vehicle anywhere. Now, in addition to that, if you've got a shop at home and you've got all the tools to work on your truck, at times he is willing to fly out to assist you in working on your vehicle. He's got an entire shop in Buford, Georgia of people that he's trained up that are experts. He's got so many videos on his channel about how to keep these things on the road. It's crucial information. I can't even begin to put a value on his channel, and not really trying to get into advertising or anything here. I'm just telling you what works. Bill knows his stuff. He can't diagnose things over the phone, but he can for darn sure figure out what's wrong with it right there in front of him. He's got videos about what's a dead skip, how do you detect it. He's got videos about how do you fix a dead skip, how do you figure out whether it's a bad valve versus a bad piston with a dead skip. It's all listed right there on his channel. I really am interested in assisting you in all these stuff. One of the major things a lot of people neglect with their vehicles is you got to get your differential fluid changed, people.
What's differential fluid?
Well, it's pretty much gear oil, but you got to get the fluid in your differentials changed out, because by leaving the old fluid in there, it loses its lubricity over time and wear. So when it loses its lubricity, you're pretty much just hand grenading your differentials. Now, for vehicles that are equipped with a transfer case, hence four-wheel drive. Now, some common things to see in today's day and age. You've got your front, you have four-wheel drive that is, when it's in two-wheel drive, front-wheel drive. You also have it where it's rear-wheel drive. But you also have front-wheel drive only, rear-wheel drive only, all-wheel drive, and conventional four-wheel drive, transverse four-wheel drive. Which the transverse four-wheel drive is what you'll see on a lot of the Hyundais, because a lot of the Hyundais are front-wheel drive primarily, but when you engage four-wheel drive, the rear axles are engaged as well with the engine and transmission. Any questions?
No, not that I can think of. I'll think of them after this is all over.
Yeah, it's usually how it works with you, Mary. Now, as for another big, giant detail here, gotta get that transmission fluid changed, people. Seriously. Any opportunity you've got to get your transmission fluid changed, you're only helping your transmission. Now, if your vehicle is really old, never had a transmission fluid change, take it to a transmission shop to have that done. Your average mechanic is not going to have the proper tools and equipment, and chances are your transmission will need a rebuild anyway. So you may as well take it to a transmission shop and have them take a look at your transmission. It's kind of like, you've got your mechanics that are the equivalent of your primary care physician medically, and then you've got your specialists, like your emissions equipment specialists, your transmission equipment, your transmission specialists, your transportation axle specialists, your suspension guys that also do tires and whatnot. Also, I've avoided Les Schwab like the plague because they're very dishonest anymore. Ever since Les Schwab died, much like Sam Walton, Walmart, and Sam's Club have taken a crap in the bed. And I can honestly say that if you really want a really good quality service, do your homework. Don't look for this instant gratification stuff. That's what got a lot of my generation into a lot of troubles lately, is instant gratification this, instant gratification that. It's even gotten her into trouble with the instant gratification. Ultimately, another very crucial maintenance item is your coolant. Got to get that stuff flushed out, cleaned out on a regular basis. It's in the manual that you're supposed to anyway. That's another thing dealers are looking for to get out of warranty work, because the mechanics doing the warranty work don't get paid anywhere near as much as they do to do the repairs, except at Power Stroke Specialty in Beaufort, Georgia. I've confirmed that. I've got a couple of buddies over there who can vouch for that.
How often should you change your coolant?
I recommend, in general, I prefer to stick to the severe cycle intervals. A lot of people are running in severe conditions and don't even realize it. If in doubt, just ignore the maximum service interval and go for the severe service interval, and just be under that at all times. You'll thank me for that advice later. Like I said, fluids are cheap. Engines, transmissions, so on and so forth are not.
Severe conditions include heat as well as cold, correct?
Yes. They also include dry conditions, extremely moist conditions. They also include conditions of a lot of idle time. They include conditions of, for example, towing trailers is automatic severe duty, and not many people realize that. Now, yes, your highway tractors are rated for that, which a lot of people call semi-trucks, but your highway tractors are designed to do what they do. Pickup trucks and whatnot, they're designed to be capable of handling a lot of weight, but if you're running any higher than 75% of the ratings, automatic severe duty. For example, if you have a Power Stroke pickup truck and it's rated for 18,000 conventional, and you're doing anything over, let me double check my math here, 16,000 pounds, you are definitely in severe towing conditions. Same with if you're doing if it's rated for 22.5 for the fifth wheel connection, and you're pulling anything over about 18,000, you're really pushing your luck. I wouldn't do it if I were you, but that's just me. There's no point in pushing your vehicle too hard. Also, another thing to consider is if you're pulling a gooseneck trailer and you're rated up for up to 35,000 pounds, and you got, for example, you got 28,000 pounds, worth of trailer and load combined, you're in severe towing conditions right there. You're right there in severe duty cycle. It's so easy to throw yourself into severe duty cycle and not even realize it. A lot of guys and gals in California have a lot of issues with their vehicles because they assume they're under normal operating conditions. These vehicles weren't made to be idling and idling and idling and idling and idling and idling all day, every day in this dense traffic over there in LA and a lot of the really densely populated areas like Seattle and whatnot. They're not designed to have a lot of idle time. They're designed to be driven. And I'm not saying turn your engine off and turn it back on and turn it off and turn it on and all that in traffic. What I'm saying is understand that if you're doing a lot of idling and whatnot, you're already in severe cycling and severe duty anyway. Cycling your engine on and off is not going to help you. It's going to hurt you even more. So what a trick that I do when I'm in traffic, especially in the simulator, just to remain in the habit of it, I'll keep that engine idling. I'll keep that engine around 12 to 1500 RPM when I'm sitting in traffic because I don't want to clog the DPF, the EGR, or any of that stuff. It's quite a pain in the butt. Your fuel system needs maintenance too. Your fuel filters. Not many people know this or even understand it, but all your diesels have at least 2 different filtration systems on it. You have what's in your tank on your light duties. You've got what is right underneath the cab on the driver's side. Those are your 2 fuel filters. Well, since it's not easy to do your own maintenance, it'll save you a lot of money, but also make sure you're doing your record keeping with the official FMCSA service record sheets. They're inexpensive to print out. You'll thank me later because you can submit those to a guy like myself, for example, who, anyone who's got the dealer access codes, really. You take it to your buddy who's got a mechanic who's got dealer access codes. He's probably going to charge you $50 or something to put all that data into the system. But it'll keep your warranty up to par. And it proves you've been doing your maintenance. Thank the federal government for that. You all get your panties in a wad about the government being too far into the business, blah, blah, blah. The government has to be this far involved in the businesses because Ford would lose their A if they were if they were fixing people's stupidity. That's one of the reasons that automotive manufacturers have gotten so skittish about actually doing warranty work, let alone warrantying something. Your Cummins warranty is the exact same as your gas warranty on Ram trucks. Forget Cummins. Seriously, they're not worth it anymore. But they get such good fuel economy and blah, blah, blah. Boom. Warranty is expired at $50,000. On Power Strokes. Oh, and did I mention that the warranty on the powertrain warranty only covers like 4 items and that's it? I did my research through the end. It's pretty much the short block. There's a video on that on all over YouTube. There's a bunch of videos about what's a long block, what's a short block, what's a big block, what's a small block, what's just an engine block. I'm not going to go into those details today because I don't have those things sitting around me. Now, furthermore, I'm going to cover this little detail here. It does cover transmissions, but all these warranties hinge upon you doing what the manufacturer suggests in general and not exceeding it. So if you're pulling if you're rated to tow 35,100 and you're towing 35.5, your warranty is null and void. you're screwed. You're stupid for doing that kind of stuff. Also, not many people know this one. You also, to be going over 26,000 GCVWR and be covered by a warranty, you must have the heavy towing package. Otherwise, you can kiss your warranty goodbye. How fast can you kiss it goodbye? You can kiss it goodbye the day before you bought it. Now, also, if you live in the north, just by default, put the snowplow prep package on there. Have them do that. That'll cover your warranty for when you're snowplowing too. A lot of guys that get a pickup truck, oh, I'm not going to be doing any snowplowing. 3 or 4 years later, they got a snowplow on the front. They take it in for some warranty work. Oh, sorry, we can't cover your truck. You put a snowplow on it. Seriously, people. No matter how much that package is, having your heavy towing package and your snowplow package, it's going to help more than it's going to hurt. Especially in the northern half of the United States. And even all the way up to the North Pole, believe it or not. And yes, Ford does distribute vehicles out to Alaska, all throughout Canada. Now, what most considered people from the north, the Canadians consider themselves to be, in their country, there's the southern parts of their country, the northern parts. But if you're in the northern areas of Northern America, the continent, just by default, put your heavy towing prep package on there and your snowplow prep package. It will save you nightmares from hell. And that is just some of the many tips I've got. And another very important tip is carry spare parts and tools on board to replace those spare parts. Any maintenance item you know how to take care of, you better be able to take care of that on the side of the road darn near. And you also, in all the areas you go, you better have a friend in a towing company somewhere. I'm smart. I've got a friend in the Southern California area, kind of the friend of a friend online kind of deal. Anyways, you gotta check out the gentleman over there at Plaza Towing if you're in Southern California. They're awesome. Check out their channel, Plaza Towing. Now, another really great channel to check out if you're in the Midwest in general, check out the channel Ron Pratt. Ron Pratt does a lot of really great videos. He's really great at the video, the cinematography aspect of things. And also, be sure to check out Prep Cook's channel. She's going to get a video uploaded there soon. We're working on it. Sure. Anyways, y'all be safe out there. Thank you for watching, and put a bunch of questions down there in the dirt pit. Question planted in the soil is going to be a question answered later on down the road, as long as it's appropriate. Keep it cool, keep it classy, keep it professional. And also,
hit the subscribe button.
Hit the subscribe button, as she said.
And thumbs up or thumbs down.
Give me a thumbs up or down. And then give me a comment as to your reasoning for that. It will only help in the long run, and it'll also help in the short run too, but it'll definitely help in the long run. But in that long run, it's kind of what YouTube content creation is about, being in it for the long haul. Thank you all for watching. As usual, God bless.